What if I told you that getting rich has nothing to do with luck? That true happiness isn't hidden in some distant future, but is something you can create right now within yourself. Naval Ravikant, a self-made millionaire and deep thinker, has cracked the code to both wealth and happiness, and not in the way you think. This isn't just another book, it's a quiet revolution of the mind. In this video, we've taken his entire life-changing book, The Almanack of Naval Ravikant, and transformed it into 10 simple, powerful chapters. So you don't just understand the words, you feel them and live them. But here's the catch. There's one idea in this book, so unexpected, so painfully true, that once you hear it, you won't be able to unhear it. That moment is coming, and it might just change the way you think about success, freedom, and yourself forever. So don't blink. The real transformation is just one chapter away. Chapter 1, The Foundation of Wealth. We all say we want to be rich, but have you ever stopped and asked yourself, what does being rich even mean? Is it just having money in the bank? A fancy car? A big house? Naval Ravikant makes it clear. Real wealth is not just money. It's not status, not fame, not looking successful in front of others. Real wealth is freedom. Freedom to do what you want, when you want, with the people you love. It's the ability to live life on your own terms without being chained to a desk or someone else's approval. But here's the twist most people never see. Wealth is not about being lucky. It's not about winning the lottery or waiting for the perfect opportunity. Naval says wealth is a skill. Let that sink in. A skill. Just like learning how to write, cook, or lift weights. You can learn it, practice it, master it. That means if you're not rich yet, it's not because you're unlucky. It's because you haven't learned the game yet. And once you learn it, no one can take it away from you. Most of us are stuck chasing money. But money is just a tool. It comes and goes. And status? That's even worse. Status is playing a game where someone has to lose for you to win. It's fake. It's loud. It's empty. But wealth? Wealth is quiet. Wealth works while you sleep. It grows when you're not looking. It's building systems, ownership, and freedom that lasts. Think about that for a second. What if all your effort, all your hustle, all your stress has been pointed in the wrong direction? What if you've been climbing the wrong ladder? Naval's truth cuts deep because it makes you realize how long you've been looking outward when the real answers were always inward. And this is just the beginning. The shift from chasing money to creating wealth is the first door. What's behind the next one? You'll see. Let's go deeper. Chapter 2, Specific Knowledge is Your Superpower. Imagine there's something inside you, something no one else in the world has. It's not a college degree, it's not a certificate, it's not even something you can put neatly on a resume. Naval calls it specific knowledge, and it's your true superpower. So what is it really? Specific knowledge is the unique mix of your talents, your curiosity, and your life experiences. It's the stuff you naturally love to do. The things that feel like play to you, but look like work to others. It's not taught in schools. In fact, school often hides it. No one can hand it to you. No one can copy it. That's what makes it so powerful. But here's the part no one tells you. You don't find specific knowledge by sitting in a classroom or reading a textbook. You discover it by following your obsessions. The things that light you up. The stuff you lose track of time doing. That weird thing you were always into as a kid, but people told you to grow out of. Yeah, that might be it. Naval says, don't chase what's hot. Don't try to be the next someone else. Chase what's you. Because when you find that one thing that feels effortless, and you double down on it, the world starts to open doors for you that school never could. And here's the magic. Once you combine your specific knowledge with leverage, like code, media, or capital, you become unstoppable. Because you're not just working hard, you're working in a way no one else can compete with. You're being you in the most profitable way possible. So ask yourself, what do I know that can't be easily taught? What am I drawn to even when no one's watching? That's the trail. Follow it, and the further you go, the clearer it gets. The world doesn't need more copies. It needs originals. And your specific knowledge, that's what makes you irreplaceable. Chapter 3, Play Long-Term Games. In a world that moves fast, where everyone wants overnight success, Naval whispers a truth most people ignore. Real success doesn't happen in a flash. It's built, slowly, quietly, over time. If you want to win big, you need to start playing long-term games. with people, with work, and with life. Think about relationships. The ones that really matter aren't built in a week. They're built through years of trust, honesty, and showing up. The same goes for your reputation. It's not something you can fake or rush. It's earned, little by little, in every action you take, and once you have it, it opens doors money never could. Naval says the best returns in life, whether in wealth, love, or learning, come from compounding. Not just compounding money, but compounding effort, compounding kindness, compounding trust. Every good decision, every honest conversation, every time you show up with integrity, it adds up. At first, it feels slow, but then something shifts. Momentum kicks in. People start to trust you, opportunities find you, and suddenly, the game changes. But here's the catch. You only get those results if you stay in the game long enough. That means patience. That means resisting the urge to jump ship when things get hard. That means showing up even when no one is clapping. Because the truth is, most people quit before the magic happens. They get bored. They want fast results. But Naval reminds us, the people who win are the ones who stay consistent when no one's watching. Long-term games are rare, so are the people who play them. But if you choose to be one of them, your life won't just change, it'll transform. Slowly at first, then all at once. So look at the choices you're making. Are they built to last, or are they built to impress? One leads to noise. The other leads to greatness. Chapter 4. Embrace accountability. Take ownership. Most people spend their lives hiding behind others, behind job titles, behind teams, behind excuses. But Naval shares something uncomfortable and powerful. If you want to build real success, you have to stop hiding. You have to own it. Fully. Taking ownership means putting your name on the line. It means saying, if this fails, it's on me. That's scary. But it's also where all the leverage lives. Because the world rewards people who are brave enough to take responsibility. When you stop blaming the system, your boss, your past, you start to unlock a power that most people never touch. This is what Naval means by accountability. It's not just about being responsible. It's about being visible, being proud of the work you do, building your reputation, not by being loud, but by being real. That's how you earn trust. That's how you attract opportunity. In a world full of noise, where everyone is trying to look important, the person who actually stands for something becomes magnetic. When people know who you are, what you believe in, and what you deliver, they start lining up to work with you, buy from you, follow you. That's not luck. That's credibility. And you build it by taking ownership of your story. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be honest. You don't need to be a celebrity. You need to be yourself, fully and unapologetically. Because when you lean into your strengths, your truth, your weirdness, that's when your personal brand starts to shine. Not some fake version of you, but the version that's too real to ignore. Skin in the game means you're not just talking, you're living it. You're not hiding behind a logo or blaming others when things go wrong. You're front and center, saying, this is my work, I stand by it. And that's rare. That's leadership. That's how leverage finds you, and why the right people will never forget your name. Chapter 5. Learn to build, learn to sell. If you want to create true wealth, Naval keeps it simple. Learn to build and learn to sell. That's it. Master just those two skills, and you become unstoppable. Builders are the creators. They turn ideas into real things. It could be writing code, designing products, launching businesses, or crafting content. They create something from nothing. And in a world that rewards value, builders are the ones quietly shaping the future. Sellers, on the other hand, are the connectors. They move people, inspire action, tell stories that stick. They know how to explain why something matters. They know how to make others believe. Because the truth is, it doesn't matter how great your idea is. If no one hears it, it dies in silence. Now imagine what happens when one person can do both. When you can build something and sell it. When you don't need permission. When you don't need a team. When you can take your vision and put it out into the world, fully, freely. That's where leverage begins. That's how empires are built. And today, the tools have changed. You don't need a factory. You don't need millions of dollars. You just need a laptop, internet, and courage. Code is leverage. Media is leverage. Influence is leverage. With a single tweet, a blog post, a YouTube video, you can reach millions instantly. The old gatekeepers are gone. What matters now is your ability to create, communicate, and connect. You might not be a natural coder. That's fine. Maybe your strength is storytelling, maybe it's design, maybe it's community building. But don't stop at just one skill. Stretch, grow, learn the part that scares you, because when you can both build and sell, no one can limit your potential. This is how Naval did it. Quietly, patiently, skill by skill. He didn't wait for permission. He built, he spoke, he shared. And the world listened. You can do the same, but only if you choose to become the kind of person who doesn't just dream, but delivers. Chapter 6, Leverage, the ultimate multiplier. Naval says if you want to build massive wealth, not just a little more money, but life-changing freedom, you need one thing: leverage. It's the ultimate multiplier. It lets your effort go further than your time, your energy, or even your presence. There are only 24 hours in a day. If you're trading time for money, there's a hard ceiling. But with leverage, you break that ceiling. You do the work once, and it keeps working for you forever. There are 3 main types of leverage. The first is labor, hiring people to work for you. It's powerful, but it comes with limits. Managing people takes time, energy, and trust. The second is capital, using money to make more money. If you invest wisely, your wealth grows even while you sleep. But capital requires access, and not everyone starts with that privilege. Then comes the real game changer: code and media. This is permissionless leverage. You don't need anyone's approval to start. You don't need money or a big team. A single app, a viral video, a powerful podcast, these can scale to millions with near zero cost. It's leverage that works 24/7 without needing to sleep or take breaks. And it's available to everyone willing to learn and create. Think about it. A line of code can serve 1 million users. A single YouTube video can impact lives across the world. A blog post, a newsletter, a story. They work while you live. That's real freedom. The people who win today aren't the ones working the hardest. They're the ones using the smartest leverage. They don't just hustle, they build systems. They don't just grind, they scale. They've stepped out of the time for money trap and built machines that work for them. So ask yourself, are you still relying only on your time? Or are you building things that multiply? In a world full of noise, leverage is how you amplify your voice. It's how one person can change the game without asking for permission. Because in the new world, leverage isn't optional. It's the difference between surviving and soaring. Chapter 7, Judgment and Decision-Making. In a world full of noise, fast opinions, and endless choices, Naval reminds us of a quiet truth. Good judgment is a superpower. It's rare, it's valuable, and it's what separates people who just stay busy from those who actually move forward. Anyone can follow a trend. Anyone can copy what's already been done. But very few people can think clearly, decide wisely, and act with confidence. That's what judgment is. It's not about being the loudest or the smartest in the room. It's about seeing things as they really are, not how they appear in the moment. And here's what makes judgment so powerful. The better your decisions, the fewer you have to make. You stop chasing shortcuts and start building long-term value. One right choice, made with clarity and courage, can save you years of wasted effort. That's the magic of thinking long-term. Naval doesn't believe in rushing. He believes in slow thinking, taking your time, asking the hard questions, detaching from emotions, looking at life through mental models, simple ways of seeing patterns clearly. Like, what happens if I do nothing? What's the second-order effect of this choice? What would I advise someone else to do here? These questions don't seem urgent, but they're powerful. They give you perspective, and perspective is everything. Because when you learn to pause before reacting, when you stop letting the world push you around with distractions and pressure, you begin to choose your path instead of drifting through it. Most people are reactive. They make quick decisions to feel safe or busy. But the people who build true success and peace are the ones who step back, look ahead, and think deeply before they move. So don't rush your life. Don't just chase what's shiny. Learn to sharpen your judgment. It takes time. It takes effort. But once you have it, no one can take it from you. And in a world that's always speeding up, being the one who thinks clearly is your greatest advantage. Chapter 8, The Path to Inner Peace. We chase happiness like it's a reward we get after we've done enough, earned enough, achieved enough. But Naval turns this idea upside down. He says happiness isn't a finish line. It's a skill, something you can learn, something you can practice, something you can build moment by moment. That sounds strange, right? We're taught to believe that happiness comes from the outside, a job, a relationship, a goal. But every time you get what you wanted, the feeling fades, and a new desire takes its place. Naval explains it perfectly. Desire is a contract you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want. And the more desires you have, the more you suffer. You become trapped, always reaching, never resting, always hungry, never full. That's why inner peace feels so far away for most people. It's not because life is chaotic, it's because the mind is. But here's the breakthrough. You don't have to silence the world, you just need to quiet yourself. Naval shares simple, powerful tools to do this. Start with awareness. Watch your thoughts. Notice when you're craving, comparing, complaining. Meditation isn't just sitting quietly, it's training your mind to see clearly without reacting. Then let go of things you can't control. Accept the moment exactly as it is. You don't have to like it, you just have to stop fighting it. That's where peace begins. Not in changing everything around you, but in changing how you see it. And most importantly, simplify. Your life doesn't need more. It needs less. Less noise, less distraction, less wanting. Because peace isn't something you find, it's something that reveals itself when the clutter is gone. The truth is, most people live as prisoners of their own mind, reacting, rushing, resisting. But if you choose to build the skill of happiness, to slow down, to breathe, to notice, then you start walking the path to something far greater than success. You begin to discover freedom from within. That's not just a nice idea. That's the beginning of a new life. Chapter 9. Self-awareness and the present moment. Most of us are running, not on a track, but in our minds, always chasing something just out of reach, a better future, a bigger goal, a different version of ourselves. But Naval gently asks us to stop and observe. Because the truth is, you can't find peace in the future. You can only find it now. Self-awareness is the key. It's not about overthinking. It's about watching your thoughts instead of becoming them. Naval says when you learn to observe your mind, your reactions, your cravings, your fears, you begin to break free from them. You stop being controlled by emotions you don't understand, and you start choosing how to respond. This is where meditation comes in. Not as a spiritual performance, but as a daily practice of stillness. You sit, you breathe, you notice. At first, the mind screams. It wants to run, to escape, to distract. But if you keep showing up, something changes. The noise softens, the gaps appear, and in those gaps, you meet yourself. Naval says, happiness is peace in motion, peace is happiness at rest. Think about that. When you're deeply present, not chasing, not regretting, just being, that's where happiness lives. Not in the next goal, not in the next win, but in this very breath if you're awake enough to feel it. Self-inquiry is simply asking honest questions. Who am I beneath all the roles I play? What do I truly want? What am I running from? These questions aren't comfortable, but they are freeing. They bring you back to the truth, the present, the now. Because the more you observe, the less you react. The more you reflect, the less you suffer. And when you stop chasing every thought, every emotion, every distraction, you find something rare in this world. You find you. And that's when life stops feeling like a race and starts feeling like peace. Chapter 10. Naval's Life Philosophy. Naval Ravikant doesn't want you to chase someone else's definition of success. He wants you to design your life, deliberately, intentionally, like an artist sculpting stone. In his eyes, the true goal isn't money, fame, or luxury. It's freedom, the freedom to be yourself, the freedom to do meaningful work, the freedom to wake up without anxiety and go to sleep in peace. Naval's philosophy is simple, yet profound. Live deliberately. Don't follow the default path handed to you. Don't measure your life by what others expect. Ask yourself, what do I want? What do I enjoy? What drains me? What lights me up? And then, build a life that reflects those answers. He warns against the trap of possessions. Seek wealth, not money or status, he says, because money can buy things, but it can't buy clarity, peace, or purpose. When you chase status or materialism, you become a slave to other people's opinions. True wealth is waking up excited. It's having control over your time. It's building something you care about with people you respect in a way that aligns with who you are. Naval's ultimate aim? to build a life you don't need a vacation from. Not because you work all the time, but because your work is your joy. Your relationships nourish you. Your days are filled with presence, not pressure. You're not escaping your life on weekends. You're living fully every day. And it doesn't happen by accident. It happens by questioning, refining, simplifying. By choosing freedom over fear, peace over pressure, meaning over mimicry. Naval's philosophy is not about adding more. It's about removing the unnecessary, the noise, the lies, the ego. What's left is you. Your truth, your peace, your freedom. And when you live like that, you don't just succeed. You light up the world. If this video stirred something in you, don't let the journey stop here. What you've just felt is only a glimpse of the wisdom waiting to be unlocked. There are more voices, more books, more ideas that can shift your mindset and transform your life. So take the next step. Dive into our other powerful book summary videos, each one crafted to challenge you, uplift you, and move you closer to the life you deserve. If it moved you even a little, like, share, and subscribe. Your growth starts here, and it doesn't have to end.